himself, if he's really who he thinks he is coming into this rematch with Andy. You know, a similar situation when you came in with your rematch. Did you have those thoughts at all? If like you were questioning yourself? Not at all.
No, I didn't. Because remember, I said it's like falling off a horse. I got back up and I was like, yo, if he never got through that punch, the fight would have been mine. You know, but I made a mistake. And I know that I won't make that mistake again.
How does that make it different for Ortiz? Because like you said, you made one mistake and got caught with one punch, whereas Ortiz got hit with a lot of punches and got knocked down 3 times. How does that make it different psychologically for him, do you think?
Well, it's easy. Psychologically for him, he felt he wasn't in the best shape. And so he's gotten himself in great shape. Now that gives him the better confidence going in, knowing that, well, he wasn't in good. He was 50% the first fight, and he hurt the guy, but he wasn't able to take him out. Now he's at 100%. Now if he hurts the guy, he'll be able to take him out. So that's what would be in his head. That's what would be in my head. Yo, I'm in great shape. There's no way this guy can beat me. I'm a better boxer than him. I'm going to go out there and show him.
Actually, like what you said earlier, being from Philly and everything, people go to Bernard.
Yeah.
You know, everybody.
Oh yeah.
They go to Bernard.
Yeah. He's got so much knowledge. I mean, like we're retired, but we got the knowledge. You know, all of a sudden, these new fighters, they're loyal to their new team. The guys that brought them from the Olympics, and they think they can take them all the way.
Just out of deference and respect, they go to Bernard. And I would think Joshua would, if I'm his trainer or have anything to do with him, naturally I would want to go to you for anything.
Yeah.
Do any heavyweights come to you?
Yeah. I mean, known heavyweights have come to me, phoned me up. Guys that you know, phoned me up. I mean, I don't want to blast them out there, you know, but I give the knowledge. It's free knowledge. If they want more, obviously they gotta pay for my time. You know, I got 4 kids.
How about Deontay? Have you had a relationship with Deontay?
Yeah.
What have you advised Deontay, and what has he taken from your advice?
You know, getting that jab working, being more fluid in the ring, being more of an accurate puncher. You know, I love guys like him because they just they listen. And they say thanks and they go away. And they love to hear what I have to say. Not only heavyweights, smaller weights as well.
What do you think Deontay's taken from what you given him? I mean, have you noticed something that said, oh, that's something I told him he needed?
Well, I mean, I don't want to take blame for anything. No, I mean, obviously you've seen us on the internet, me showing them the jab and showing them different ways of throwing it. Every time we get together, there's always something that we speak about that, you know, insight that he gets from me. Anybody that speaks to me gets insight of some proportion.
How would a fight between you and Deontay have gone if you were in his prime?
Oh, it would have been a good fight. I mean, obviously Deontay is 6'7". Taller guys always give me a problem. I would be probably technically better, technically more sound than him. But, you know, I understand that. He started boxing at a later age, so, you know, you can't knock him for that because he's only had so much time as a heavyweight.
Assuming Deontay wins this fight Saturday night and he rematches Fury, how do you think that cut or Fury's propensity to be cut will impact that fight coming up?
You mean the fact that Fury might get cut?
Yeah.
Oh, that cut.
Yeah, he had that big ugly cut.
You know, I tell you, if I was Deontay, that's what I would be going for. You know, he gets cut easy. Okay, let me get that jab going. You know, I've always said, you know, you may be a great fighter, but if you cut easy, you can't be great. You can never be great because you're going to be known as a bleeder.
Who's the best heavyweight in the world right now?
Deontay.
Better than Fury?
Absolutely. And now I say that because of Fury's last fight. So that last fight kind of dropped him a couple points.
Where's Ruiz in that mix?
He's there. I mean, he still has a lot to prove. He's got to get past his second fight with Joshua. But, you know, if you're asking me the number 1 and 2, it's Deontay and Fury.
Do you think this heavyweight class, for the longest time, it was one of the low points of boxing, the state of the heavyweight division, and now it's rebounded? Do you think if all these fighters end up fighting each other, it could somehow come close to what you, Evander, and Mike Tyson did together in the 90s? Do you think it could come close to that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a different era. You know, they do things a little different around here. And the reason why I say it like that, because, you know, at one time I'm thinking none of these guys want to be the undisputed. They're really out for money. They're really just out to see how much money they can earn. But now it's getting to a crunch where, okay, you know, there's guys, you know, I know Deontay wants to be undisputed, so this is what he wants to go for. He went all the way over to England to challenge Joshua for it. And I'm like, you know, this is what you need to do. If you're serious about being the undisputed champion, you got to go. You got to go challenge these guys. You got to go back and you got to go in their neighborhood.
With all the money going around in boxing right now, wouldn't you want to be fighting right now?
Oh, there's a couple guys I could still beat up.
Who's that?
Will we see a return?
I was thinking about that.
Nigel Benn just was going on a comeback. Would you ever consider even making a comeback?
I told everybody, I take my pajamas off for 100 million.
Get into his shorts. Talk to your trainer about it. I'll let you know.
Joe, how do you see the fight playing out on Saturday night?
Well, you want me to make a prediction about it?
Well, just how do you see it unfolding? And
what did you say?
That's perfect.
Look, I think you're going to have two guys that are in great shape that know each other a lot better than they did in the first fight. But I think you could see a knockout in this fight earlier than the last fight. I may be wrong, but I think that's a distinct possibility.
Why would you say that, Joe?
I'm saving that for on air. Okay, come on. No, I'm just kidding. Well, for a few reasons. Did you happen to hear Teddy Atlas's podcast today? Did you?
No.
I knew that. That's why I asked you twice. I knew you didn't. It was very interesting because I had a conversation with somebody else earlier, and it was like, I don't know if he heard my interview or we just both were on the same page. You know, in other words, there's a crack in the china right now from that last knockout. Ortiz isn't any younger; he's 2 years older. Okay, Wilder he's got to figure it out probably a little bit better. I don't know how much better Ortiz could fight. He could probably be in a little bit better shape because he did get tired between that 8th and 9th round. He was huffing and puffing in the corner.
Now that he's in better shape?
Well, he may look better, but is he in better shape?
You're talking mentally or physically?
Both.
Don't worry, I'll do your job for you guys.
Right, this is good. And the reason I say that is because when did Ortiz get into camp? Exactly when? Does anybody know?
They said 12 weeks.
Well, I know he said 12 weeks, but I mean, does anybody really know?
Well, he says he's 40 also. So,
right. So here's what I'm saying. The date of the Spence Porter fight was
September 28th. 28th.
What's up?
So the 28th. Okay. Did he look like he was training? Did anybody see him?
So
Did you hold on? Just answer that question. Did anybody see him? I saw
yeah,
him.
we had a press conference.
yeah.
Yeah, we saw him.
Did he look in shape at all?
With a jacket and sweater, you can't really
The
tell.
jacket and sweater. I saw him with a t-shirt on. Okay. So here's what I'm saying is that was the 28th of September. Let's just say October 1st. We got all of October and 3 weeks into November. That's seven weeks to me right there. Okay. Are you saying that he was already in camp for 5 weeks? Really? Did it look like it to you? I just,
Well,
from
okay,
my point of view, you know,
Are you saying he looked a bit blown up?
when I saw him, in September 28th, he did not look like he had already had 5 weeks into camp.
I got a question for both of you
Yeah.
guys. You have a production meeting tomorrow. What are the questions you're going to ask?
Well,
the
believe me,
fighters?
I'm going to ask that. That's going to be one of my questions.
How about you, Larry?
But look, hold on. You
They
forget that
never tell
the
the
thing
truth
is,
anyway.
the thing is that are you going to get
the
an
truth.
honest answer?
What's one question you're going to ask? What do you most want to know about this? What's that? What's the?
It doesn't matter. Whatever they say, they have to prove it. And usually fighters obviously put on a good face for it. And they say they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And then when they get to the fight, it's usually different.
And then Sergey Kovalev says what he says.
So Joe, we talked to Lennox about the weight, him slimming down, losing the weight, and how that impacts him. He mentioned how it impacts him as a boxer, as a trainer. How will that losing the weight impact him in this fight?
Well, you know, it depends on how he lost the weight and what type of weight he lost. Okay? So did he lose muscle while he was losing weight? Because he was just trying to lose weight? I don't know. You know, you have to, it's like anything else. It's like I tell my fighter when we get in the ring, we're at the weigh-in, I go, let's size this guy up, let's size his body up. You got to really look at him and see what you see. Okay? Because that tells a big tale when you really see a guy stripped down on the scale or in the ring and you're able to really focus in on him.
The training video I saw the other day, it looked like he lost flat.
I see guys that lose weight and they look sickly. Okay. I'm not saying, I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
And they look sickly and you go, wow, you should put a couple more pounds back on. He doesn't look that good, you know? Okay. So then you go, wow, that guy trimmed down and looks jacked right now. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he lost it, but I'm sure he's got a nutritionist and a guy that brought the weight down the right way, according to the nutritionist. But we'll see.
How about a 40-year-old getting out of his routine? I wonder about that.
Getting out of his routine? You mean, in other words, his comfort zone?
Maybe
No, because I'll tell you why it's probably better. Because I saw him fade in the 8th round in the last fight. So if maybe toning his body up, getting in better condition in the physical. Instead of just the boxing stuff, but also the physical, what do you call it?
Strength and conditioning.
Like that. That might benefit him in this fight.
So Larry Waits is his new strength and conditioning coach.
Right.
He has a history of kind of conditioning his fighters pretty well, right?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's got it. His last couple of fights, he's done a good job. People seem to like him, and he just got hired for this job. But again, it's a guy who's up there in age, and we'll see if the strength coach will turn you into a better fighter and a more conditioned fighter. I personally don't depend on strength coaches to get my guys into shape. Okay, if I can't do it, and this guy ain't going to do it, but it's going to have him be doing bench presses. That's not where it's at for me. Like in a fight like any of the little guys that fight and they throw 110 punches, 120 punches per round for 10, 12 rounds. They ain't doing it just because they're doing 90% of these guys, 95 don't have strength coaches. Mm-hmm. They rely on great running, good calisthenics in the gym, maybe a little lightweight, just that we do on our own, but a lot of rounds of sparring, a lot of heavy bag, a lot of running, just good old-fashioned training will get you there. I mean, some of the greatest fighters we've ever known never even knew what a strength coach was.
If we just do 2 more questions, please.
Lennox, when you beat Rockman in the rematch that was here, obviously, where does that rank in terms of the gratifying moments of your career?
Oh, the most gratifying. It was the most. One of the most gratifying moments because, here's a man that I basically picked out from the top 10 and said, this guy's durable. I don't want a guy that can go in the first round. I need to get rounds in. He was there for that. Gave him an opportunity. Then he insulted me, called me names. And also, I went to Africa and lost. He left the country, didn't even visit Mandela. I stayed back, I visited Mandela. Mandela said, don't worry, champ, you get him next time. I said, you're right, I will. Then I basically went, focused on what I needed to focus on, came back, beat him, best Christmas in my life, and did the job. So I think it ranks very high because he basically rekindled a flame that was dwindling inside of me. So, and he woke me up and said, "Hey, wake up! You know, you just lost a very important fight. You know, you need to do something about it," and I did.
But I want to ask you a quick question, and that's very true.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you very much.
Did you ever have a strength?
That doesn't count.
Okay, so, you know, I was going to say something to that. Strength.
Well, nobody asked you that yet?
No. Okay. I went to school with this guy named Courtney Shan. We were both on a football team. He went to college for PE, physical education. And after one of my fights, I never had a strength coach or a conditioner.
Right.
He was a conditioner, my conditioner. So Manny would say, you know, you get in good shape, which for me, great shape was everything. Running, being in great shape. Because I realized most of the fighters that lose are not in good shape.
Good boxing shape.
Yeah, good boxing shape. So my trainer Courtney would always make sure I'm in good shape. Then I would be in boxing good shape in the gym with Manny. So it was a good combination.
But
together.
he wasn't so world renowned, you know, strength coach.
But this is a guy coming from my, you know,
high school.
From school. We come from a long way away.
But he was your buddy that knew a few things and would push you more than like he had some degree and
right.
Okay, and that's what I thought.
Yeah,
so you never. Okay, but you never hired some guy that was some world renowned Mackie Shilston or something like that.
No, this guy knew me. Courtney knew me. Yeah.
Did you ever ask about it?
What?
Who did Oscar use when he saw Pacquiao? Was it Shilston?
He might have, but Mackie Shilston goes back to Holyfield. Oh, Michael and Holyfield, didn't he do Holyfield?
I know he worked with Michael, right? With the sprints and everything like that.
Yeah, you're right. And I think he also did Frank Tate, and then
didn't he get Jones up to 200 pounds to fight Ruiz?
193.
Whatever it was. Close to 200.
Last question, please.
Yeah, because we have an 8 o'clock appointment. We've got.
And I gotta ask everybody a question.
All right, sure. Quickly, please.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Is it a panorama or a video?
Who do you think's gonna win?
How do you like it?
Yeah.
Wilder and 7.
Wilder and 7.
Wilder and 6.
Wilder and 6.
Wilder and 3.
Wilder and 3. Hey.
You're not far off of what Teddy said.
The fans.
Sitting on the fence.
I got Water 7 or 8.
Wilder and 7.
Wilder 6 or 7.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.